isn't great, okay? But it's also not bad. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Padres 6, Pirates 4. Kind of a deflating finish to a 3-game series in San Diego yesterday that, I don't say this lightly, the Pirates easily could have, arguably should have swept. And yes, I'm aware of both teams that I'm citing here and where they happen to be in the standings. The Pirates played pretty good ball. They played pretty good ball on the whole trip. The 3-3 trip through Phoenix and San Diego. And for the most part, maybe no more than a couple of exceptions, they've played pretty decent ball under Don Kelly. Again, it's not something that you're going to go throwing a parade over. They're 10-12 since Kelly took over for Derek Shelton. Results are results, and ultimately, to try to make anything at all of the ongoing season, you're going to need some dramatic results in your favor. I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm not expecting that. And I don't say that in a cynical way. I'm saying that in a realistic way. This team's 22-38. They're not bouncing back from that. There's no surge or streak that's going to have you going, uh-oh, look out, here come the Buccos. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. What's more, for something of longer-term relevance to unfold over the remainder of this season, you'd have to see someone of longer-term relevance rise up. And that's why I feel like most people have gotten the most up about this team in recent days because of Henry Davis. And even that has been modest. It's nice to see. It's really encouraging. But he had a 237 May after a 130 April. He had one home run in May versus one home run in April. And when you think about what's actually occurred with this team and the decent play that we've seen of late, it's been the guys that you expected to hit going right ahead and hitting. Andrew McCutcheon's been hitting forever. Well, he's really hitting now. Brian Reynolds has been hitting forever. He's really hitting now. O'Neal Cruz is certainly capable of hitting forever. And he's either hitting or getting his way onto the base paths by walking a lot these days. But it's not as if something has happened where you say, whoa, I can't believe that this is going on or that's going on. That's because the team is still being piloted at the general manager level by nobody. That nobody is doing nothing. Not one move's been made since Shelton was fired by Ben Cherington. Not one. Unless you want to count that one waiver claim guy who might have been in the organization for no more than a day and never actually suited up before he was let go again. I swear I don't remember his name. But for what's playing out right in front of us, what's playing out with Kelly in the dugout is a team that is trying a lot harder, that's focused a lot more on winning the game that day as opposed to themselves or wherever it was that they happened to shelter themselves before Kelly took over. And Kelly is as amiable and enthusiastic as he always is. There's going to be times, I can promise you this, I've known him for a lot of years, where he's going to sound a little bit too happy for your liking. I believe he's well within his rights to assess, let's just say, for example, this trip, this 3-3 trip, the way he did after the game yesterday to reporters in San Diego.
Got to keep going, and we talked about it the other day, keep earning it, and today got away from us, but on the whole, we could have snuck out of the road trip with 5 wins, and the first game here was tough. Today was tough, but we've shown that we've been resilient and bounced back and expect fully that we'll do that getting back home.
That's not being a Pollyanna. The Pirates had a game I felt like won the other night, and they got totally hosed by a terrible ball strike call by a rookie ump, Edwin Jimenez. And in this game yesterday, they're up 4-1 heading into the seventh inning. Padres score 4 runs, not enough bullpen support. By that I mean in terms of both quality and quantity. Some guys weren't available. As usual, the GM doesn't do anything to shore that up. So Tanner Rainey goes out there and struggles. And yeah, I guess you could make an argument that Chase Shugart could have been left out there for longer than a third of an inning. That's an open target for criticizing Kelly. But, make sure you've got enough bodies. That's a pretty routine responsibility for a GM. The day-to-day, game-to-game management of bullpen arms, their health, their availability. I talk about that here a lot. I don't know why this GM doesn't seem to be invested in that. I don't even want to know why. But, again, whatever. I think that we could all agree that it was going to be ideal for this team to just start looking like it's more competitive in the literal sense of that term, meaning that they were going out there and competing. When a team isn't hitting, it looks terribly uncompetitive. It looks as if it doesn't care. It looks flat. It looks lifeless. You just see the guys going back to the dugout with the long faces after being rung up. So there's going to be more of a sense that things are getting better when somebody's hitting a ball out of the park or they're standing there at second base gesturing back to their teammates in the dugout. It's progress, and it's progress that involves the new manager, that involves some of the leaders on the team, notably Kutch over the weekend, speaking up the way he did in San Diego about the umpiring, about how the Pirates have to go out and earn that respect to get those calls. But I'm going to keep doing this till I'm just Clint Hurdle purple in the face. Nothing changes until the general manager does. Not on any meaningful scale, anyway. When we come back, J1Q. If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern. Located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar, North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Paul, who asks, DK, Tommy Pham is screaming for a DFA. Why is nobody listening? Back to the forest from the trees, or if Pham fell in the forest, would anybody but Ben Cherington go looking for him? No, they would not, Paul. The nature of his arrival to Pittsburgh, I feel, doesn't get enough of a harsh spotlight to it. It's not just that Pham is here and he's 37 years old and he's now batting .209 with a .279 on base percentage. It's that he can no longer make solid contact with the baseball. If you look over the recent, I'd say probably the past handful of games, you'll see some outcomes that went in his favor. Past 7 games, for example, he's 9 for 27. That's obviously .333. And you'd say, wow, yeah, he's really coming around. Unless you watch the nature of the bat hitting the ball, which it's barely doing. all 9 of those hits were singles. 6 of the 7 were barely struck. I'm going to give you a Pham statistic that's going to blow your mind. Sit down for this, seriously. Extra base hits. You've heard me bring this one up before. He's got 4 extra base hits all season. That's in 154 plate appearances. So he's had 150 plate appearances out of the 154 in which he did not get an extra base hit. His last extra base hit came on April 26th. Look at your calendar. We're into June. There's nothing coming there. He's not being robbed of hits. He's not being unlucky. Further support, he's at .293 for batting average on balls in play. The accepted dead center median in that category is 300 for everybody. He's at .293, so he's right there. He just can no longer hit. He can no longer produce offense. But the part that doesn't get enough, I guess, derision as it relates to Cherington handing this player $4 million for a year is that every sign of this was available to everyone last season, including this army of advanced analytics people that he employs. Bear in mind, we're talking about the Pirates here. So when it comes to free agency, you're really only making 2 or 3 tough decisions in a given offseason. Some of them will work out. Andrew Heaney, nice acquisition. Hitters, not so much, as in almost never. Pham spent last season with 3 different teams. Now, that immediately should set off every alarm bell. They were just passing him around to see who would take him. He ended up batting for the season .248 with a .305 on base percentage and a .368 slug. That's not a player that you give $4 million to. It's just not. I don't care what the age is. That's a player that you just grab off the scrap heap. And his batting average on balls in play last year, by the way, was .307, so he was at least a little bit lucky to have the average that he did. I don't have to be one of those white-collared shirts filling up every corridor and crevice of PNC Park to be able to identify this. The fan base, like this, identified Pham as a misguided signing, not just because he didn't fit the bill for what this team really, really needed at a position that was essentially going to be a 0 entering spring training. Now, add on top of all of that, whoever it was that told them that this is some sort of great clubhouse leader type, he's not that. That's not his personality at all, and it would only have taken about 5 minutes of anyone's time to have known that beforehand. Now, I will say, and I've been repeating this a lot over the past couple of months, you don't blame a start like this on the 26th guy on your roster, and I'm not doing that with Pham. The Pirates have many reasons that they are where they are in the standings. Pham is less than 1/26th of that, considering he doesn't even play much anymore. But yeah, if you're a serious organization and you have a serious GM, you go ahead and make space for somebody else to at least have the opportunity. No, I don't mean the opportunity for a random 30-year-old to come up and then just sit in the dugout for 2 weeks. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow when the Astros come to town.